Okay, hello everybody, welcome back to Doki Doki Blue Skies. In the previous episode, Sarah knocked the fucking sense out of her brain by hitting her head on a shelf. So, let's continue by continuing to talk to her about our poem. Dots. Fox. Your poems are seriously amazing. I can't believe you never told me how good of a poet you were. Huh? Sarah, I'm really not that great. You're the only one who likes my poems this much. Really? I guess I'll be honest with you. I find it easier to write poems when I'm, thinking about our memories together. Yeah? Really? Sounds a bit strange now, doesn't it? I nervously laugh, noticing the blush that's crept up on Sarah's cheeks. I don't know, I feel like my life's kinda boring. Like, whatever happens in it is just literally that. Whereas with you, well, whenever I look back on our memories, everything seemed to be such an adventure whenever you were around. Like when we went exploring in that forest near our house ages ago. You made it seem like it was an exciting adventure, kind of like we were both archaeologists or something. Whereas if I went there myself, I'd just think I was going for a stroll in a forest. I glance over at Sayori. She has a faraway look on her face, wearing a wistful smile. Yeah, I remember that. I was convinced there was a spooky wood troll out there. Wah! That's exactly what I mean. You've got such a vivid imagination. And I guess I can tap into that imagination whenever I'm thinking about you. We have this sort of connection. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And it's still there, even after all these years. I think I sort of understand what you mean. Can I ask a favor of you, Fox? What's up? Can I, keep this poem? This is, the first time you've written something for me. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but I didn't write it for you. But, okay. You can keep it. I still don't think my poetry skills are anything special, though. I can have it? Yay! Thank you. Hold on, Sarah. Not everyone has read my poem yet, so I think it'd be unfair to give you my poem right now? Oh, that's true. I should have thought of the others first. It's fine, it's fine. I get that you're just excited. I'll give it to you later, alright? Okay. Anyway, I still need to read yours. Oh! Huh, I totally forgot. It's nowhere near as good as yours, though. I'm sure I'll like it. Oh, the Bottles poem! I remember Bottles. Okay. Okay. Let me get into the mood here. Bottles by Sayori. I'm gonna need to... Alright, there we go. Can I do that from over here? Nope, gotta be in the paper. Okay. I pop off my scalp like the lid of a cookie jar. It's the secret place where I keep all my dreams. Little balls of sunshine all rubbing together like a bundle of kittens. I reach inside with my thumb and forefinger and pluck one out. It's warm and tingly. But there's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe. And I put the bottle on the shelf with all the other bottles. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts in bottles all in a row. My collection makes me lots of friends, each bottle a starlight to make amends. Sometimes my friend feels a certain way. Down comes a bottle to save the day. Night after night, more dreams. Friend after friend, more bottles. Deeper and deeper my fingers go. Like exploring a dark cave, discovering the secrets hiding in the nooks and crannies. Digging and digging, scraping and scraping. I blow dust off my bottle caps. It doesn't feel like time elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more. My friends look through my locked front door. Finally all done, I open up, and in come my friends. In they come in such a hurry. Do they want my bottles that much? I frantically pull them from the shelf, one after the other, holding them out to each and every friend, each and every bottle. But every time I let one go, it shatters against the tile between my feet. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts. Happy thoughts and shards all over the floor. They were supposed to be for my friends who aren't smiling. They're all shouting, pleading, something. But all I hear is echo, 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 inside my head. I actually really liked that one the first time that I had read it too, on top of it. I wonder why that one is written the way that it is, ladies and gentlemen. But, no, I actually really like that poem. So, that being said, let me get another sip of my coffee here. I'm gonna wash it down in some water, for fuck's sake. Alrighty. Wow, Sari. I didn't expect this at all. Did you really write this? Of course I did. Remember, I said I'd write the best poem ever yesterday. Well, here it is. After all, Monica has taught me a lot. And I've been really in touch with my feelings recently. So that's what this poem's about. I suppose that much was obvious. Unlike Yuri's or Monica's poems, Sari's are relatively simple to figure out. So, if I've interpreted this correctly, you're basically doing everything you can to keep your friends happy? Yay, you got it. I really enjoyed writing this one. Just getting your thoughts out onto the paper and turning them into a poem. It's like magic. Well, I think it's amazing. You should be really proud of it. Thank you, Fox. That means a lot. I didn't think it was that good, though. No, it's great, seriously. I can't help but notice that the latter half of the poem isn't quite as cheery. In fact, it's somewhat alarming, a very dark contrast from the cheeriness I'm used to with Sayori. Although, maybe I'm looking into this a little too much, but the end of the poem is pretty dark. And you said you've been in touch with your feelings recently, so I'm just checking. Is everything okay? Of course, silly. I forgot to tell you, I really like writing about bittersweet stuff. Stuff that isn't just happy or sad. A mixture of the two. And this poem shows what I mean. It's just my writing style. Ah, okay. Well, that makes sense, I guess. Either way, I'm glad you're enjoying writing so much. I hope you keep it up. Good to have a hobby. Of course. And hopefully you'll stick with it as well. So I look forward to seeing all the poems you write in the future. Well, no guarantees there, but just from seeing the passion in Sayori's eyes, it's hard to be pessimistic. On to Natsuki. Well, not bad, but not good. Honestly, it's just like your first poem. Yeah, I did kind of try to write it like the first one. Although I did attempt to make it a little bit better. Well, mission accomplished, I guess. Still, same things as last time. Try to make it more creative, it just is kind of bland as it is. Noted. Oh yeah, I should probably show you mine. Here. I fucking love the music that it plays in the background of all of Natsuki's poems. I don't get it. That's the name of the poem. I don't get it. Anyway. By Natsuki. I don't get it. I don't get why people will hate on good rhymes. They act like it's dumb and a waste of their time. I don't diss their free verse or deep subject types. Be dark all you want. Just keep in your gripes. Oh sure, you can tell me. If you have a problem. Just keep it constructive and things will be awesome. I'd like you to know that our readers will differ. There is no best style, you smug old glue sniffer. Yes. My poems may be simple and often straightforward, but charm can be found in such whimsy and order. Not all poems can be as complex as you like. If you think otherwise, you can go take a hike. What about kids or the elderly too? Some read for fun, I guess unlike you. Let us just go and enjoy what is written. You won't like it at all. That much is a given. But give things a chance. You might find something nice. Just open your mind, and that will suffice. Another pretty fucking solid one, honestly. Again, I am the Jackson Pollock type when it comes to art. I'm very into just straightforward, get-to-the-point shit. Doesn't mean that I don't like or can't appreciate deeper things, but it's just... I don't know, difficult? You know what I mean? Not the biggest fan of overcomplication. So, what did you think? I mean, it's well written, at least. I'm not sure I should confront Natsuki about this. But to say that she still holds a grudge about yesterday would still be an understatement. God forbid Yuri see this poem. Well, that's a given. But yeah, you could say that I was inspired. It really felt good to pound out these lines. Poetry is an amazing emotional outlet, you know. Anyway, I can't wait to show Yuri this poem. Wait, hold on. What? Natsuki, do you really think that showing her this poem is a good idea? You're really going at her throat with this. Don't you think that you should work something out with your issues with her? Yeah, well, she never tries to see things my way. So why should I? Oh, so that's probably my favorite. Is right-click what I think it is? Yes. That's probably my favorite sprite of Natsuki right there. Just saying. It's probably my favorite one. I think that that's the wrong way to go about this. Relationships are a two-way street. Both people have to work to make things right. Why don't you try being the bigger person and just talk to her first? But I already know that she's not going to try. She's just always so preoccupied with looking complicated and smart. It's clear to me that she doesn't care if anyone can understand her. Including me. You can't understand her if you don't even try. She might speak using a more complex vocabulary, and she may have mannerisms that seem strange to you. But from what I've seen of both of you, she's more similar to you than you might think. Yeah? That's... Are you judging a book by its cover right now? Well, whatever. You can't hold this grudge forever, you know. At least think of Monica and Sayori. Fine, I won't show Yuri my poem. Are you happy? I won't be happy until you try to talk to her. She's not going to bite, Natsuki. Alright, I get it. I'll try to talk to her sometime. Thanks. You're gonna do the club proud. Shut it! Man, now I have to hide this poem away. I worked really hard on it, you know. You could easily turn that energy away towards more positive things, though, right? I guess so. I'm just frustrated that my poem's message missed the mark this time. You should always try to make something people can take a message away from. Remember that. Anyway, I'm gonna write a good one tomorrow, so just you wait. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is why I enjoy Natsuki as a character. It's why I enjoy the whole Soon trope in general, when done right. When done right. That's the real catch there. I preach about this one all the fucking time with that shit. If you can actually, like, fucking pay attention to people like that, because, like, here's the thing. Obviously, it's exaggerated in anime and stuff, but, like, people like Natsuki fucking exist. I have met a large number of people, particularly women, that are like her. And it just, I don't know, it comes off as a very realistic trope of personality to me in that response, but usually those kinds of people actually fucking listen and they're more logical. They just let their emotions flare up, is the thing, so. But again, if you're like me and you're not really bugged by that kind of a thing, you're not really fucking, you're very thick-skinned, it doesn't really matter, so. Alright, let me take a look at your piece for the day. I must say, Fox, I like this poem a fair bit more than yesterday's. Even this early, your skill is improving remarkably. Really? Thanks, Yuri. That means a lot. I know how much you care about this sort of thing. Eh? It's really no trouble. I know sometimes writing can be a daunting task, just don't be too concerned if things don't always work out. Pushing the boundaries in poetry can be a great thing. Metaphors might seem complicated sometimes, but don't stress them too much. While of course you want to choose images that can capture the message you're trying to get across, I think the first things that come to mind are probably the clearest. Even if the metaphor doesn't seem to make sense, it can force your reader to think about something they wouldn't normally. That's one way to truly enable your reader to see into your mind. It's a very intimate experience. I see. I think I might give that a go with my next poem. Thank you for sharing that with me, Yuri. Well, if you'd like to see an example of that, I've written something that captures that essence. Sure, I'd love to take a look. If it's something you've written, I'm sure it'll floor me. Yuri smiles shyly, handing me her poem. Resist. Oh my, is this a Dom poem? Please, step on me, Yuri-Senpai. Resist by Yuri. A whimsical, tiny Cerise friend. Hello, Clarice. Anyway, sleeps along my amber bookend, dreaming about a sanguine day, where mirrored, slendered lampposts play. She beckons me, her hand extends, piercing pupils readily rend, azure channels bend and twist, cautiously held above the wrists. Oh, interesting wording there. However, she finds her advances shunned, always crackling, always stunned, never able to draw the lance. Across my arms she's never danced. Perhaps it would be for the best if I laid her down to rest, whilst I haven't given in to painful pleading from within. I think that it might be smart to save the song of fumbling hearts, lest tears make me dizzily fall and answer her virulent call. Hilariously, I think this is exactly similar to Natsuki, so remarkably similar. I felt a bit guilty after yesterday's argument with Natsuki. I wanted to experiment with my style a bit more. Hopefully it's not too confusing. No, it's fine. Even if it's a bit more involved than yesterday's, I still like it. I'm noticing a lot more symbolism as well. I don't want to assume anything, but the tone of this poem, I'm not sure how to describe it. Yes. I really wanted to test my abilities in creative expression. I didn't go too far, did I? No, it's really good. I just don't know if I'm good enough at this to deduce the meaning. If I had to explain it, I'd say it's about a closely guarded secret. Imagine everyone has a little something like that. Something they're forced to keep to themselves for fear of ridicule. It's nice to be able to write about that sort of thing every now and then. If it's something you enjoy doing, then shouldn't you write about it more? Well, it's not that simple. It's something I'm uncomfortable talking about. I'm not sure people would understand. If anyone were to find out about it, well, I guess as long as it's not hurting anyone, people shouldn't pry. Do you think so? Sorry, I just was thinking of something. It's a good point, though. The best I can do is try to embrace my own weirdness, right? Otherwise, I think I'd hate myself. Sorry to keep you for so long. Thank you for allowing me to ramble. Yuri is such a cupcake, and I love it. I cannot wait to go down that rabbit hole later on down the future. That's gonna be a fun route. I just hope that it isn't gonna be like a fucking 20 hours thing to get through one route. Alright, head honcho herself. Hello again, Fox. I'm trusting that the club... Sorry, I got a little snotty there. Okay, that's better. I'm trusting that the club's been doing you well. Same answer as yesterday. Well, that's nice to hear. So how's the writing going? Alright, I guess. Just alright? No, I guess I should say that it's revolutionized my world and brought color into my previous lifeless, life. Well, I say that, but the club, if not the poetry, really has made my days more interesting. Okay. Can it with the sarcasm, mister. At least you're not hating it, though, right? Nah, it's been an interesting experience, at least. Gives me a new hobby to do. I'm happy that you're applying yourself, at least. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. I wouldn't count on that. You never know. Want to share what you wrote for the day? Sure, here you go. I give my poem to Monica. Alright. I can see that you put in some good effort here. Very sincere poem, once again. And very similar to Sayori's poetry. You might still have more in common with her than you think. Maybe. It's easier to write about from my heart when I'm... Yeah, that's a weird wording right there. It's easier to write from my heart when I'm thinking about nostalgic things. So, that might be it. Writing poetry while wearing rose-tinted glasses, then? Well, it's not like I do it intentionally. That's just how my brain works. I mean, even if you did, there's nothing wrong with that. Poetry can be seen as another way to express your inner emotions. A way that you can use when ordinary prose can't quite describe what's in your mind. So writing about how your long-lost childhood friend makes you feel is just as valid, I'd say. Writing about how the human condition is inherently full of conflict. I'm guessing that the latter is more of a Yuri poem. You might think of that. But actually, a style like Sayori's could still fit that theme just as well. Really? How do you figure? Well, first off, have you ever heard of the poet Robert Frost? Yes, I'm very familiar with Robert Frost, actually. I read a lot about his shit, and if I recall, he is also a New Hampshire man, which is the state that I reside in. So everybody's obsessed with that motherfucker. But yes, I'm very familiar with his poems. I've read quite a bit of them. I think I have, probably in an English class somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised if you learned about him in class. He's an incredibly famous American poet, after all. Anyway, it's easy to recognize his poetry since he always used classic meters and tons of monologues and dialogues. He was also pretty fond of themes centering around nature and New England. Abso-fucking-lutely he was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't that really sound anything like Sayori's poetry? No, you're actually right. She doesn't have the lyricism that Frost has, and not too many of their themes intersect. I guess that the mood of their poetry is what strikes me as similar. Yeah. Both of them write incredibly sincere and powerful poems, even though they aren't mind-bogglingly complex or anything. And although their poems may seem to be about one thing at first, with another read-through you might find that there's actually a deeper meaning behind the words. That does sound a bit more like Sayori's poetry. Is she really that deep? Fox, you shouldn't underestimate Sayori. In fact, why don't you ask her for another look at her poetry? Then you'll see what I mean. Alright. I'll talk to her about it sometime. But in the meantime, you want to show me your poem now? I think it's about time we let your poem shine. Sure thing, Fox. I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look. That being said, though, ladies and gentlemen, she's actually correct on that one. If you've never actually read a Robert Frost poem, that actually is definitely a theme with it right there where, I guess the theme of misdirection in general, it's always fun, especially in literature, but it is definitely a thing that you'll see in those poems for sure, where it seems very straightforward, but there's actually a whole other thing in the background that, upon another glance or from another perspective, you can see it. So it's probably why I enjoy his poetry as much as I do, to be honest with you. I'm not really a big poetry fan, but... Pressurized by Monica. I float there, in vast hollow emptiness, large but small, grandiose and overwhelming. yet a dust mote, drifting, meandering, carried along, in endless void. But then I realize. My eyes open, bloodshot, my mouth open, gasping, for breath in this crushing, suppressing, restraining, boundless, everlasting, suffocating vacuum of torment. Atmosphere, Pascal, tore. Screaming with no mouth. Stretching, restraining, unrelenting. Clawing with no nails. Disintegrating in a suffocating poem of absence. So obviously playing with space here. I do not quite understand what's going on with this one. I don't expect there to be a lot of meta self-referential shit in Doki Doki Blue Skies, but I could be fucking wrong. They may very well wind up doing the same shit. And I do not know. But we'll find out. It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? Really? Freeform 2, if that's what you call it. I guess it's just the way I write. I'm sorry if you don't like it. No, I never said that. It's just kind of a thing I've never really seen before, I guess. The other girls don't do this stuff nearly as much as you, at least. Yeah, you could say that they're a bit more traditional when it comes to their structure. But I kind of like playing with the space on the paper. Choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of a poem. It's almost like magic. The way I write the lines, really short, makes it seem like they're trying to speak over the noise. It fragments everything and leaves dissonant tone with the reader. I see. I guess that there's a lot of things that you can do with poetry. And absolutely, that's also a very interesting thing right there as well. It's pretty much the only thing that I derived out of that as well is, for example, if you put not no spaces, because that actually is a thing that you can do with, like, a visual novel like this. If you were to remove all the spaces right there and just put everything together, then basically you get fucking what's-her-face, the chipmunk from Arknights that talks without any pause in her sentence. You know what I mean? But, like, if you were to put no line breaks on a poem, that could be very interesting, I feel. Definitely, poetry is very much an art form. You're meant to craft poems using never-before-seen combination of words to interpret the world around you. You really live poetry, huh? Maybe you should write a poem about poetry someday. That's not a bad idea. Anyway, it's still hard for me to tell what your poem's about. Sometimes asking what a poem about isn't the right question. A poem can be as abstract as a physical expression of a feeling, or a conversation with a reader. So, putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid it's not that good? Now, we've all had to experience that at this point, with the poetry discussions and all, but it can be really disheartening to get a lukewarm response to something you've put so much into. If you find other people who enjoy writing, though, then sharing becomes a lot easier. Because instead of just telling you what you're writing, that your writing is good or okay or bad, they'll want to focus on everything that went into it and the things you can work on. It's much more encouraging, that way, and it will make you want to continue improving. Yeah, it definitely is more helpful than getting real criticism and, helpful getting real criticism and feedback rather than just empty words. I guess I've really hit the mother lode with the literature club. That's my advice for the day. Thanks for listening. Though, abso-fucking-lutely, I agree with that one 100%, tenfold, abso-fucking-lutely, positively. Especially when it comes to, that's with anything artistic, but, like, that's even with my YouTube channel. I hate lukewarm responses to things, but people don't necessarily mean anything out of ill will that way. However, it is the end of the episode, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and try to get to one more recording session to get to the next poem writing and then call it a fucking day. I will see you guys then. Take it easy.